Today I'm going to be showing you how you can build out your first DeFi passive income portfolio. So this video right here is going to be for those beginners in the space that are truly looking to transform their cryptocurrency HODL portfolio into a DeFi portfolio that consistently generates them passive income. Now we're going to be doing this through something known as liquidity as a service. Liquidity as a service is where we are providing our capital or our cryptocurrency assets into liquidity pools, and in return we are getting trading fees or yield farming rewards and just other incentives for doing this. We are earning income on our cryptocurrency assets. Now that income that we're earning on our cryptocurrency assets, that can go right into our bank account if we want to. We would just have to off ramp the cryptocurrency. That can go into our HODL portfolio if we want to build up our HODL portfolio, or that could go right back into these liquidity pools and earn us more passive income. And obviously these are just the basic three. There are so many different strategies that you can do, so many different things that you can do with this income. Like something that we've experienced at Builder Wealth is helping multiple people quit their 9-to-5 job and escape the rat race, and in turn they're living off of the passive income that they consistently generate through their DeFi portfolio. And before we even hop into this, I want to talk about return potential. You could do anywhere from 80 to 150%. At least that's what we typically do at Builder Wealth, because we take a safe, stable, and consistent approach, SSC. Anyways, whenever you are investing into decentralized finance, you need to treat this thing like a business, and the first thing that you do when you are treating something like a business is you build out a business plan, or BP basically. So I'm going to talk about how we're going to do that. The first thing that we're going to do in our business plan is just set out our goals, right? What type of APR do we want to generate? I personally want to start at around, say, 60% APR, which is a very good starting point. And then after I hit 60% APR, I kind of learn the ropes and I want to go with tighter ranges on my concentrated liquidity pools. And I'm going to ramp it up to 80% APR, and then I'm going to ramp it up to, let's just say, 100% APR. And we could go past 100% APR. We're just going to have to take on more asset risk, as well as we're going to have to be a little bit more active in the market. And if we don't want to do either of those, then we could just keep it at 100% APR. The second thing that we need to do is determine the assets that we want to include in the portfolio. So this is where CoinGecko comes into play. We're going to use CoinGecko, and we're going to head over to the cryptocurrency section and go to categories. When we're in the categories section, this is going to show us different types of cryptocurrency assets. So if we want to look at smart contract platforms, we could go over here. Or if we want to look at different cryptocurrencies that are part of the multi-coin capital portfolio or something, which is a pretty large investment fund, we can look in there. If we want to look at stuff that is artificial intelligent cryptocurrencies, we could look under there, and we could keep on going through these different categories. The point is you need to identify different assets. So say some of those assets that I want to include in my portfolio are going to be FET. Let's just say I want to include ATH, which is Aether token. Maybe I want to include Render. And obviously I want to include stuff like ETH, Wrap, Bitcoin, Sol, those types of assets. We would jot all this down as our step 2. And obviously you're going to need to do a little bit more planning than this, but this is the base level planning that I'm going to be going over today. The next step is starting to research and find different positions for these cryptocurrencies right here basically. Can we pair FET and ATH together? Probably not. But can we pair FET with Ethereum and then ATH with Ethereum? Most likely so. And the reason why I know that is because I've been in this space for a while, but I know that we can do that. But if we don't know, we would want to go and check. And that's where Metrics Finance comes into play. So over on the Discover page, what we can do is select all the exchanges as well as networks. We can go into the pool section, and where it says must include first asset, we can type in FET. And just like that, we'll see all the FET to Ethereum liquidity pools. And then maybe we also want to look at some of the other assets that we found, like FET, ATH, Render. We type in FET, comma, ATH, comma, Render, just like that, and it's going to show us a bunch of different pools, including these assets. Now, if you guys want to learn more about how you can narrow down these pools to find the best performers, which we will dive into a little bit in today's video, but if you really want to learn that in depth, as well as you want to learn our exact process for injecting capital into your cryptocurrency wallet, fee-free, and of course, learning how to identify the best positions and identify different assets, now I am going to recommend you check out our DeFi Excel community. It is by far the #1 community in DeFi right now. We launched it literally just about a week ago, and we already have nearly 100 members in it so far. It is only $25 per month. There's no lock-in. You can cancel anytime, but it's going to teach you everything from getting onboarded into DeFi, like setting up your wallet, injecting capital into it. It's going to teach you about liquidity as a service, what it is, as well as how to find positions, invest in those positions, deploy your capital, rebalance, track performance, all that stuff, as well as you'll have access to our entire community where you can bounce ideas off of other members, and of course show up to the monthly masterclasses that we do, where we essentially showcase the latest opportunities in DeFi. and to get 30 days of Metrics Pro for free. But you can check that out. It's down below in the description. I want to dive back into the actual value that I'm revealing here and talk about the process, because really that DeFi Excel program is just for those people that want to escape the rat race, quit their 9 to 5, or even just diversify their investments or start to invest their cryptocurrency holdings. So as I mentioned, step number 3 is going to be to find different positions, right? And after we find different positions, we want to start to simulate performance and find ranges. So I'm going to say simulate over here, but reality is when we are simulating, we are finding the different ranges for these positions. We are looking at the volume history. We are looking at the liquidity distribution. We're adjusting deposit amounts to see how that affects performance. We're doing all this stuff under the simulate page, and then we will build out our portfolio. So I want to kind of quickly and briefly walk you through this. So when we take a look at this chart, the price is going down, which looks scary, but it shouldn't be scary. And the reason why is because this is the correlation chart. This is showing us how many render tokens equal one Ethereum token. So reality is when the chart's going down, that just means that render is outperforming Ethereum. Let's just say we were to select a range of 450 as our max price and then something like 315 as our min price. That's going to give us about 65% render in our liquidity pool. And if we take a look at the volume history, that's pretty consistent. If anything, it's picking up in the recent days, and we're doing about a 98% APR. So that's 27 bucks per day off of $10,000. That's not bad whatsoever. So this kind of dives into the simulation. This is very high level overview, but once we've simulated the performance, we can save this to our portfolio and it will go under the build section. So step number 5 is going to be to build a portfolio. And when I say build a portfolio, I mean you're going to look at a lot of different liquidity pools. You're not just going to look at Ethereum to render or Ethereum to ATH or FET to Ethereum. You're also going to look at other assets that maybe you haven't heard of. You're going to start to add them to your portfolio over here. And then as you come across maybe like 10 to 20 different positions in your portfolio, you're going to start to narrow it down. So as you can see, I have a lot of different positions on my portfolio right now. And these are different positions that I'm watching, potentially going to invest into, but I want to start to scratch off the ones that aren't performing to my expectations, or maybe I just don't want to take on exposure to them. So now it's time to conduct my risk management and some further due diligence, because in my opinion, this is going to be a lot of different positions to manage as a beginner. As somebody that's spending 2 to 3 hours per day in DeFi, sure, you can manage this, but as somebody that's just getting into the DeFi space, they don't know what to do with their 2 to 3 hours per day, even if they have it, then you're definitely going to need to take a step back, start with 1 to 2 positions. As you get comfortable with that, start with another 3 to 4, and then keep on ramping up. And me personally, I only have 5 DeFi positions today, and that's because on my personal portfolio, I'm spending about half an hour per day on average just managing my portfolio. It's not a lot of time for me personally because I can be efficient, I know what to do, and I don't have a bunch of positions, and I still do over 100% APR on my portfolio. I take a safe, stable, and consistent approach. After we build our portfolio and we kind of refine things, so we'll just call this step 6, which is refine, which means that we're going to scratch some positions off the list and truly decide what we're going to deploy into first. We are going to actually get deployed, launch up our portfolio. We're going to open up these different positions. So we'll deploy our capital in these positions. And now after we get deployed, it's time to wait a couple days. If we have broader ranges, of course, if you have super tight ranges, definitely be checking up on that. But we are going to start to track our performance, which we can do through Metrics Finance. There is a track page, and essentially you'll just head over here to track and you can throw in your wallet address. So I'm going to take one of these random Ethereum to render positions and we're going to track their performance. As you can see, we could go to top positions on Ethereum to render. It'll show us other positions that people are running. This has $131,000 in it, and it's been open for an hour. When we open it up over on Uniswap, we can easily find the owner and just throw that directly into the track page, just like that. And we're going to be able to see all their positions. And you can see they're at a $1,100 profit. They're doing 1480% APR, and they have 291 bucks in fees so far. So now we can track their performance and we can see how they are performing. In this instance, while they are at a profit overall, they're at a loss compared to just holding in the market, which means they're completing a bunch of different actions, managing their portfolio. But at the end of the day, it's a better strategy for them to just hold, because they hold 100% render. They'd have $133,764. Since they're in the position, they only have $132,700. Or if they hold ETH, still $133,205. They hold both assets, $133,370. It's just better for them to hold in this instance. So after you start to track performance, you have a management flow set up, and you know when you need to rebalance your positions and stuff like that. It's time to rebalance / manage. And I say rebalance / manage because reality is rebalances are managing your portfolio, but also part of managing your portfolio is identifying new opportunities, potentially better opportunities for the same or different assets. And then after that, it's time to scale. This is step 10. Scaling is where now, instead of just including liquidity as a service, you're also diving into hodling different assets. Maybe you're running a hybrid model. You're also diving into hedging your downside and making sure that you have the maximum upside exposure. All these different things fall under scaling your portfolio. So this right here is my 10-step blueprint to essentially building out your first DeFi passive income portfolio through liquidity as a service. Remember, if you guys want a community behind you and you want to build your first DeFi passive income portfolio, DeFi Excel community is going to be linked right down below this video. We nearly have 100 members in just the first week of launching this, and we anticipate to have thousands of members within the first couple months. And of course, as we grow in members, the price of DeFi Excel is going to grow as well, so that we can make it more and more exclusive. If you guys enjoy, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, notifications turned on, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.